Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
Dr. Robert Baba has also added his voice to the selection of Jane as Mohammed's running mate, saying he's a big pick and is an organized woman who will help bring victory to the NDC. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what he said into detail. But before you go, please, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can also send your suggestion through our WhatsApp number, which is 0277-128-777. Thank you.
With me, Justice Appear. You can join in the conversation by sending in your views, comments, and contributions on a WhatsApp stroke text line. I'll be reading those messages out for you. Those of you watching us on Facebook can share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. Right, so I've been joined in the studio by Honorable Kuganab Lem, who is the former Member of Parliament for Benduri. Honorable, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
It's been a while.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Also in the studio is Mr. George AC, Director of Communications, NADMO, and a member of the MPP Communications team. Mr. AC, thank you so much for joining us.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
Right, I'll start with the re-nomination of Professor Naana Jane Opoku-Agyeman as former President John Dramani Mahamans' running mate for the 2024 presidential campaign. And I'll start with you, Honorable Kuganab. What's your take on that?
Yes. Good evening to our viewers and good evening to the good people of Ghana, and congratulations to Naana on her re-nomination. This is a great lady, very gracious, likable, affable, conscientious, very dedicated, diligent, and meticulous when it comes to playing the role of leadership.
Okay.
I think today coincides very well with the International
Women's Day
celebration, which is coming on tomorrow.
Right.
What can we celebrate than celebrate the reappointment of Naana? Tomorrow, therefore, is a great day for all women and women of Ghana to look up to her as their representative in the fight for the elevation and empowerment of women. She is capable of doing that. She is responsible. She is well organized when it comes to executing any task. And she's dedicated. We have seen throughout the period, the last time she was a running mate. I don't want to use the running mate again, the term mate, because she's a partner to partner His Excellency John Mahama to victory. And therefore, we are looking up to her to work as a partner, not as a mate. It is very important that her influence is exerted properly so that the NDC can propel Ghana to a point where we deserve to be, a nation of very gracious people, a nation that is actually the black star of Africa. I am looking forward to this, and particularly to the empowerment of women. And I want all Ghanaian women to celebrate the upliftment of the number 2 person to be in the country, a woman. And I believe that this would happen, and that all women will form themselves into groups that support Naana, and for her to be able to do work to ensure the equality they are looking for, the equal opportunities, the equal pay for equal work, the fact that they are mothers, and for that matter mothers of the country, that they are given their role to play, which they will execute meticulously. I believe that she is going to do the work, and that we in Ghana will create history.
Right.
History in the sense that a woman will become the number 2 person in the country. And this is an opportunity in the nearest future for a woman to become the number 1 person in the country. The men have led us for long, both vice and president. They've led the country since we became a republic. And we have seen that nothing much has been achieved. We have seen that people are running away from their responsibilities, calling themselves driver mates. We don't want driver mates. We want persons who are coming in as partners. Partner with His Excellency, the President John Dramani Mahama, to make sure that we lift Ghana and that the teeming youth will get inspiration, particularly disadvantaged groups, young women who cannot buy sanitary pads. These are persons who would team up with Naana to ensure that she talks for them, she works for them, and that their basic needs will be made affordable for them to acquire. Therefore, I have no doubt that this is a big pick, a pick that will bring victory to the NDC. And you can see that throughout the last time she was the running mate, she was poised. She was for action. She campaigned throughout the regions, throughout the constituencies with grace. And people really admired what she did. I believe that people are going to mobilize and that she is going to do very well for the great NDC.
Right. Ahead of her re-nomination, there were a few issues. People were of the view that looking at her age, John Dramani Mahama has just 4 years to lead the country. When it comes to somebody who can lead the NDC after former President John Dramani Mahama, obviously she couldn't have been somebody to be considered because age wouldn't be on her side. People are also of the view that because she's not, somebody who has been in the mainstream politics, I mean, she wouldn't have been a better pair for former President or to former President John Dramani Mahama. How would you react to some of these, issues that were raised?
Age is a number, and it is how you feel. I don't think that she is the oldest when you come to people who are aged and are playing politics. Some people started politics from birth, and their results of performance has been very abysmal. For the issue of after John Mahama, let's get there. If we get there, we will know who the leader will be. In any case, there will be a contest, and whoever emerges the winner would lead the party. For now, we want a team, a pair that will be able to alleviate, lift us out of these doldrums that we find our place, we find ourselves in. We are in a pit, and we have to come out of this pit, and that is what our focus should be. It is the pair of Naana and JM who will lift us out of this pit. She is very thorough and very organized, and I believe that such an organized and thorough person, very diligent in doing her work, is the pair that would bring us out of our chaotic situation. So for me, it is not about who would come after 2008 or 2007, but who will work so diligently, so committed to bring us out of where we find our place.
There were also questions as to what she brings to the table.
She brings her poise, she brings her grace, She brings that motherly fortitude. She brings that empathy for others. She brings that leadership, and that is what we want. What has been our bane is not an economic risk. What has been our bane is leadership. And once she has this leadership, that is what will galvanize every Ghanaian to be productive, to work and produce, so that the economy will become vibrant again. It is not about talking, it is about working. It's about being meticulous in work. It is about being resilient and demonstrating that resilience and that hard work. It is about that. A polished person who takes his words seriously. That is the person we need. Leadership by example. Throughout her last campaign up to now, we have not heard any word that she has used that people are using against her. She has been meticulous. She knows what she is doing. She is not just talking to win power. She is talking so the Ghanaians realize the vision she has for Ghana, the vision she has for the vulnerable. And as I said, our bane is not about being a specialist. Our bane is by having polished, committed, diligent leaders. And in the two, we find this diligence.
Other persons also believe that she partnered former President John Dramani Mahama in the 2020 elections, and it didn't go well for the National Democratic Congress. Why keep her?
We know His Excellency Akufo-Addo how many elections he lost, and then she has won, and so he's now the president. That doesn't matter. If the time wasn't the occasion for her to be vice president, that doesn't mean that you give it up. You go to war, you lose, you come back, you prepare.
Right. Because
the process is a battle. It is not a one-day event. And I believe that if she lost, definitely she has learned her lessons. And those who voted for her to lose, she didn't lose because she did anything that brought her votes down, but people decided that that wasn't her time. And I believe that those who made that decision and voted for the MPP have seen the error they've committed, and therefore would go for her because they know that if she was the vice president, she wouldn't have just been a mate. She would have been a partner to deliver the goods for the development of Ghana.
Thank you so much, Honorable. I'll come back to you. Viewers, you are still watching Hot News right here on Pan-African Television with me, Justice Appiah. If you're watching us on Facebook, please share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. If you're watching us on Facebook, please share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. Please display the WhatsApp number so that they can as well leave their suggestions, questions, contributions, and all of that on a WhatsApp text line. I'll be reading those out. Zeze, I'll come to you now. The NDC thinks that Professor Naana Pokwa-Agyeman, is an unblemished character. She's somebody they believe could partner former President John Dramani Mahama properly into the 2024 election. There's no other person qualified than Prof. Would this pose any threat to the New Patriotic Party?
Yeah, thank you. Good evening to you, your production crew. Good evening to Honorable and our viewers. My condolences. As a political party, we are bereaved. We are mourning. My very good friend, the Honorable John Kuma, Puntia Kuma, who we all heard today, he's gone. And it's been a painful thing. He's been a good guy. We've known ourselves way back from the university days,
right?
SRC and Nooks Martis. And when we got in the political fray, once upon a time, he was the PA to Alan Chemartin, and I was on the other side. Sometimes when we meet, we just have nice conversation. We don't argue, you know. We are like brothers. And you know, when he became NEP, this thing, he helped a lot of young people. It's unfortunate he's gone. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. We commiserate with the people of Ajuso. I heard people crying and saying all the good things.
He's actually wailing.
And in fact, I shed tears. It's unfortunate. A young man, 45, we just move away like that. It's painful. In his prime, working so well as Deputy Minister of Finance, is painful. But hey, be it as it may his gentle soul rest in peace. I believe Parliament and the party will put measures in place. The President himself was pained today, listening to him, and he was really pained. You know, he's one of the young people he trusted. He reposed his trust in and all that. Yeah, Professor J. Naana Opoku-Agyeman, you know, I'm a product of the University of Cape Coast as well. And product of the University of Education, Winneba, first degree and second degree, UCC. And she happened to have been a lecturer, my wife's lecturer, literature. She did literature, I did mathematics. So, yes, she was like a mother to her.
He explains why your wife could speak English.
But she didn't teach me. Maybe she taught my wife, but she taught
very well.
Yeah, so yes, she's a very affable individual. She's unassuming, very knowledgeable individual. We must respect intellectualism.
True.
And especially the girl child. She's been an inspiration to most of them, especially when she was a lecturer and rose to become the first female vice chancellor of any university in Ghana. And that was hailed by a lot of people. Interestingly, at that time, you know, it was President Kufuor who pushed for that. You know, it was sort of veto. Some people, big guys in academia and co, felt no, she had leanings to, you know, where she is now. But President Kufuor was enchanted by the fact that we needed a female to take that position and inspire the other young people. So he actually pushed for that to happen, and ultimately this is where we are. I'm happy for her, but as to her political contribution and what she brings to the table is another matter altogether. Her affability, calmness, and whatever is not what is going to play ball on the table. You get it? What does she bring? She must bring something to the table, and I'm going to assess her based on what she's done before, particularly as a Minister of State. She's the one who presided over teachers as Minister of Education. Teachers working for 36 months, 24 months, 18 months, and they pay them 3 months' salary and cancel the rest. Fact, she was the minister then. She was the minister who presided over the cancellation of allowances to teacher trainees and nursing trainees. She presided over that very painfully. Mother, as Honorable is saying, a mother must have that feeling for the young one, the poor, the needy. But she didn't show that when she had the opportunity to show that, as Minister of Education. That is the painful aspect of some of the things that she did. That pained me as an individual. I thought, no, this is a mother we thought is going to bring that human face to touch on things, but was there and didn't make any case for the cancellation of those allowances and others. So these are things that I think we need to look at. When she was minister, university lecturers were up in arms about book research allowances and not being paid and all that, and being small, they needed increment and all that. And so these are, I've had occasion as Judicial Committee Chairman of GRASAC then to have waded in, because, you know, our lecturers were suffering and we as students had to make a case, you know, and on some occasions we had the privilege of meeting her deputy then, the Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. I led a team to meet him, and we had discussions on some of these matters, and he even came to meet Grassa to explain some of these upon our invitation. So these were some of the realities that we were saddled with.
But under her watch, we also saw the establishment of a university at Somanya. Under her watch, we saw the construction of some E-blocks. They started about 200 of them, 100 and something were under various stages of completion. We are told after Napo took over as the education minister that she had completed more than 40 of those. Well,
29.
that's what Napo said.
Official ones.
Okay,
29.
Right. But Napo told us she finished about 47 of those schools.
In her handing over, she had done 46.
Okay.
But when they did the auditing, it was 29 completed.
Okay.
29. We have completed 31 of them. So these are matters that has been there. Yes, university established under the administration. Yes, started, you know, I don't think Somanya University was completed when they left office.
It wasn't, they started it, but it completed.
Yeah, it's completed and it's being used now. Students are there enrolled and all that. And expansion is come in UHAS under this government.
But don't you think that she needs credit for some of these things as well?
No,
under
that
her
is,
watch.
you brought two people here.
Very well.
They brought two, so you are the third person speaking for the NDC.
I'm not speaking for her, but I'm only asking you relevant questions.
Yes, that's okay.
You would always want to accuse me.
No, you decide to postulate, put the things in there for. I ain't got no problem with that.
Mr.
So
George,
the NDC,
yes,
the NDC, they have decided to. I know one. What I glean from this is one, in the highly unlikely event that President Mahama becomes the president, he's going to one term, he's going to go away with Professor Jane Opoku-Agyeman. They don't want it. But I thought it was the wrong thing, choice by the NDC. Not because she's a female, no. I've told you my affinity for her, I like her, and all that, you know, but it's because the NDC is not being futuristic in their choice, okay? Because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is going to do one term in the highly unlikely event that he wins, because I know he's not going to win. Dr. Baumia is going to beat him fair and square. Okay. You mark it there anywhere and see. And so when it happens, then you are now going to get a new candidate altogether, like my good friend here is going to be the new candidate that you are going to market. But if you have chosen somebody that has the potential of taking over, then you say, okay, by the time they completed the first term, they would have sold the person and marketed the person very well. And so going to the market wouldn't be a difficulty. I'm not saying that there's not going to be primaries within. There will be primaries. But because the person has been properly positioned, he has a step ahead. Like happened to the vice president in our case. You know, he was a step ahead and people didn't, some people couldn't fathom that and thought it's not. So, Professor, the NDC is chosen her. But I don't think she's going to, because the last election, I don't see the number of votes she brought to the table that made, you know, her to, you know, there are a lot of factors that accounted for the results of 2020.
So I was about to ask you, 2016, yes. you won with a huge margin, close to 1 million votes. Yes. 2020,
yes,
you could see that they had actually reduced the number of votes that you had.
Central region. What was the results?
But we are talking about the results. We are talking about the numbers in general. If you are saying that, if you are saying that you've not seen what she won the
central region,
you are saying that you've not seen what she brought to the table. Please allow me. If you are saying that you've not seen what she brought to the table, I'm telling you that 2016, you won with almost 1 million votes, with a margin of almost 1 million votes.
Yes.
2020 was insane. 2016, she wasn't the running mate. 2020, she partnered John Dramani Mahama, and you couldn't win with the same margin. She has done something.
No. No, we saw the things that happened in 2020.
What happened in 2020?
A lot of things going to the election. We had just gotten COVID issues, challenges. Businesses were suffering. The tourism sector was virtually down because of that. Importation was virtually down. Our ports were virtually closed almost for a year and all that. And so it impacted on the economy. People operating in those sectors, were not too comfortable with the system because of what had happened, exogenous factors and all that. Okay. And so they were part of it. And then the issue of registering amidst COVID and co, people felt no, that wasn't. So a lot of factors, came into play. If she really impacted her region, which is central, should have taken over and beaten us fair and square. But presidential, it didn't happen that way. And so, and now that this government is brought in a lot of things, programs, policies, and projects which otherwise were not there, like the free SHS that were not there, like the one district, one factory that were not there, like the one village, one dam that were not there, one constituency, 1 million, which is, brought all these ambulance, water projects and others that were not there, part of our expenditure. Okay, those are things that we are looking, landing port beaches and all that, completing of the Almina ports and Almina landing site and all that, close to within her own territory. It tells you that this government is being focused, and most of these things were not there, part of their government expenditure prior to 2016. Okay, and so these are prior to 2017, and all these are expenditures that have been loaded on by this government, which has propelled things and the economy. We boast of the excellent infrastructure development. I have been saying it, and I'll keep reiterating it, that under us in 7 years, over 12,000 kilometers of roads constructed. Okay, as against 4,700 under the President Mahama's administration. So these are things that will be taken to the market in spite of all the exogenous challenges. She was there as minister. We had Dumso for God knows how many years. People make the argument, oh, we ended Dumso, Go Google it.
Can you step down?
Yes, go Google it. They said, the vice president said, somebody cannot take credit for Dumso, right? In June, that was supposed to be 30th of March, 2016. In June 2nd, 2016, Google the City Online. You will see that President Mahama told Ghanaians that we are not out of the woods yet. Dumso is still there. And in August, the ECG came up with a timetable. Okay? In February of 2017, we had Dumso issues, and they said, oh, fix it. If it's there, fix it. Because it is coming out of what had been in existence. Okay. So there were difficulties and challenges. So the economy, we also how they managed the economy to where they left it, negative trade balance and all that. So we'll look at that. That's why I say I don't think she brings anything, because her area, which is education, her performance was very, very appalling. I say. So I wish the NDC the best. We are yet to come with our running mates. They have chosen theirs. I wish them the best. When we choose ours, then we'll get the ball started.
Right, viewers, you're still watching Hot News right here on Pan-African Television with me, Justice Apia. We are still discussing, the re-nomination of Professor Naana Opoku-Agyeman as the running mate to former President John Dramani Mahama into the 2024 election. You can keep your messages coming in. I'll be reading those messages out for you. Those of you watching us on Facebook can share the Facebook Live for other people to also watch tonight's edition of the program. Please share for other people to watch. Doc, you would want to respond to Mr. Eze. Unfortunately, we are unable to discuss the other topic because we have just about 10 minutes to go. But so I'll plead with you to give me 10 more minutes. I beg you. I'm begging you.
Just a quick one. She's espousing the need to have a candidate go through the process. And I'm wondering how Aliyu Mahama was running mate vice president for 8 years. But when it came, she lost miserably. What was the difference? How comes that Aliyu Muhammad did not get support from a party that thinks that there is a need for continuity, and they brought in Nana Akufo-Addo? And that is the question. She has also mentioned a lot of things, talking about the achievements in the education sector. The education sector is in shambles. Wow. This is the worst period that Ghana has ever experienced. I'm very, very serious. I'm very serious. This is the worst in our education sector.
An educationist.
Yes.
I mean, he's been a lecturer for so many years before coming to Parliament.
Yes.
So you know what he's talking about.
And talking about the fact that book and research allowance, it has always been an agitation throughout. But somewhere around 2000, I was UTAC president for UDS.
Right.
2000, and we were at that point always agitated for book and research allowance, because it is an allowance that hasn't got a specific day for payment.
Right.
So when it comes and they apply, it takes time until government gets enough money. They wouldn't pay. And up till today, you ask and they will tell you that there is no standard date for the payment of book and research allowance. Lecturers have always agitated for it to be paid. Now,
you didn't get the trust of my argument. You finish. I'll give it
No. I got it. You're talking about agitations then. And agitation, and I'm telling you that agitations are still ongoing for the payment of book and research allowance. He talked about the fact that she cancelled teacher trainee. Yes, it wasn't cancelled. It was reviewed, because we said they would take loans, just like any other fellow in the tertiary institution. And it is common sense that you are now a tertiary institution. Right. There are teachers being trained in Winneba. There are teachers being trained in Cape Coast.
Right.
Why should those who are in the colleges take allowances? And so take a loan. We were about the first persons to take loans in the university. Those days, when they were being fed in the university, we got there at a time where they said we should take loans. And then we took them. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. And people were happy with the loans we were getting. Rather than say you're going to pay them teacher trainee allowances and you don't pay. This is the worst period. And you can ask any teacher trainee or any nurse trainee and they will tell you this is the worst period in their education. Because you have not paid them over 10 months, over 11 months. Their allowances haven't been paid. And these allowances are peanuts. And that is the situation. People have graduated from nursing training colleges, from teacher training colleges for about the past 3 years, and they have not been absorbed by the system. This is worse. Now they presided over. We were just 1 year. That was no. Please.
I'll give you the opportunity to respond. Kindly allow Doc.
She was creating the infrastructure for the school. I mean, for schools to be built, so the teachers and trainee nurses will simply fit in when they graduate from school. And the policy, the verdict is out there. People will tell you that in terms of education, in terms of health, this has been the worst government we have seen in our history. Yes. Health insurance is almost gone. It's almost dead. It's almost dead. Yesterday in the news, maternal mortality in the Ashanti region hit over 200. This is not acceptable. We can accept this as a country. No woman should die in relation to childbirth and pregnancy. And we are witnessing it now in huge numbers. And so, for me, they are rather afraid of the poise, of the grace, of the diligence of Naana. That is what they are afraid. Her consistency, her delivery is excellent. Super excellent. You see, it is, you can come and lie.
You haven't showed me anything, no. You say super excellent. What is super excellent?
See,
I haven't shown you anything. You think it is a joke for her to have risen to the position that first in our history to be vice chancellor? You talked about the issue of Kufuor pushing. This government is the worst when it comes to imposing vice chancellors in our universities. It is the worst government, and our universities have been run down by their meddling in who becomes vice chancellor. You have meddled and you have almost destroyed all universities in the country. You have meddled seriously. So don't be proud telling us on national TV that Kufuor influenced her selection.
Right.
She went there on merit, and she has demonstrated that she deserves everything she got along the line. It is not the sort of cheap vice chancellors that Kufuor is appointing all over the place. Who have
Chief Vice Chancellor?
Yes, and when the right time comes, we will show you who these people are.
Right.
We'll show you, and they'll bring their CVs and tell us how they got appointed as vice chancellors.
Wow.
Not all, but most have been very, very politically. It has been politically engineered for some of them to become vice chancellors.
Including Naana, right?
No. I am saying that
I'm telling you the fact. I've been in the political.
Kindly step down for me.
I've been a student of UCC.
No, kindly step down for me.
But whatever
The cabal against her in the academic board.
I'll come to you.
Look, I know.
Kindly step down for me, Doc.
She has distinguished herself as one of the most successful vice chancellors.
I didn't want to go into
Ever.
this.
To come
So
out
she
of
has a
Cape
track
Coast.
record.
She has a track record.
Okay.
She has a clean track. And before her was Reverend, you see, and that man too was a colossus. So when it comes to,
Reverend Ejapon? Reverend Professor Ejapon?
Yes.
No, Reverend Adobe.
Adobe, yes.
Yeah,
the
Adobe
Reverend
was
Adobe,
after
yes.
Professor Ejapon.
Yes. So she took over from the Reverend. I mean, another nice gentleman who delivered very nicely for the University of Cape Coast.
Right.
Because I was in the union, we used to meet to negotiate. He was a very gentleman.
Right.
And so Naana stepped into her shoes. And the history is that there's no woman who has ever occupied that position. So generally, unless you work hard, you cannot succeed. And she succeeded.
Right.
And she's going to succeed, and they are afraid. And she's succeeding not only for herself, but she's succeeding for the women of Ghana.
Right.
And every woman should trust Naana that she will deliver for the good of Ghana and for the good of women of Ghana.
Right, thank you so much. That was Dr. Robert Kugan-Ablem, former Member of Parliament for Benduri. Thank you so much, Doc, for your submission. Mr. Isi,
I'm surprised. I didn't want to go into the nitty-gritties of her stewardship.
But Doc wants to tell you that
that's another matter.
Professor Naana Jenipoku-Agyeman has a track record.
No,
First female vice chancellor.
Of course, that's it. That's all
and she
there is to
performed
that.
in her position.
I don't want to go into
I mean,
that one.
we all know what
you
you did at UCC.
I don't
of
want
course.
to go into
You attended UCC, but some of us, are very much aware of the kind of things she did at UCC. Exactly. So go ahead, take us home.
It is fantastic.
Can you take us home?
Let me say what the Doc didn't get. The thrust of the matter, my argument, that because she had been a vice chancellor, because she had come from academia, and because she was presiding as the Minister of Education, who better than her to understand and appreciate the issues of book and research allowance? And therefore, there was no need for those agitations and co. Because one of their own was presiding.
Some people are saying that based on your earlier argument, they are saying that, well, under Professor Naana Jenipoku-Agyeman, there were enough textbooks. There were enough learning and teaching materials. Under this government, although you have implemented the free senior high school policy, there are no textbooks. You are rather procuring examination papers for the kids to go and write, to go and study and then write exams.
No, yes, I support that. The Cambridge system, those things happen. Okay, when we were going to school, the Form 5, 6 form system, we were buying on our own.
Right.
We were buying Pasco. Okay. Some of us never even saw chief examiner's reports.
This is not a question.
This matters.
Just so that
and now you see it as a teacher.
Just so that you not see it as it was coming from me. It says we had enough textbooks, school uniforms, and regular capitation grant for schools under Professor Naana Jempukwajima. The MPP man should keep quiet. If education under their party was good, why has he run away? Gregory from Panda. He says he's a teacher.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Under Professor Naana Jempukwajima,
right,
circuit supervisors did not have motorbikes.
Okay.
The district education officers did not have pickups.
Okay.
Trucks and co. That's when the vice president's wife said, you truck? Please. Is that what you want us to talk about? Schools didn't have trucks.
Right.
So that's not what we want to do. So it's on record. You get it. Okay. I love her because I told you she's my wife's teacher. And she's a good person.
Right.
She rose as a woman to where she got to. I really admired her. You get it. So I'm not going to denigrate those achievements and cool. But politically, tell me, doctor, which group, women's group, you just even asked socially, they forgot. If she had been influential on the socialist women group, you think they will forget to acknowledge? You had to bring their minds to that. She's not impacted any female group.
In fact,
you get it.
She's
so
been there.
these are matters that we need to look at. So politically, what does she bring to the table? That's another matter. So you let us know.
She's been championing, women's issues concerning women, because I know that she's a patron or matron for the Obasima Academy.
I don't know about that. I have not even heard that. Yes,
you know, heard of Obasima Summit before.
Oh no, yes. No, I've heard. Yes. She being patron. That's what I said. I've not heard.
Oh no, she is, and I'm confirming that to you.
I've not heard that before. So that is it. Baumia is an astute economist, and that you cannot take away. All of us, yes, astute. Okay, distinguished economist, and tell me, your own person, this vibrant man. Tony Edu. So there's nobody in the NDC who can stand up to Dr. Baumia.
But those were
nobody. So why were you not coming out with counter lectures? You were not. You were not, doctor.
Now
please. You were in academia. Why were you not rising up to challenge
the teachers who are watching us?
Yes.
They want something corrected. They said I should tell you that those arrears under former President John Dramani Mahama were never cancelled.
Which arrears?
He said the teachers worked. And
3 months and then you cancel.
Is that the
it's not true. It's not true. I was teaching. No, it's not true. They think they can do propaganda. I was in the French Spanish school. People came to me and said, John, this is what is happening. We tell them go to Accra. They will come to headquarters and come back and come and tell you. Look, I'm not going to say it affected my own wife. It affected her.
Oh.
She went to do program, stepped and got back, and her allowance, she got just few. We didn't get all.
She went to do a program with permission or without permission?
Yes, with permission.
No.
Yes.
No,
so please, these are matters that we all know. Look, 24 months.
You have 3 more minutes.
Thank you. So please, these are issues that we are all looking at to build a nation.
Oh no, I mean I gave you 10 minutes. I gave him 10 minutes as well.
So it's an issue that all of us, we are building a nation. We are very positive and upbeat about our achievements. We are sure that going into this election with His Excellency Dr. Baumia is a sure bet for us. And two,
should we expect a female running mate from the Democratic Party as well?
You see, this election, yes, the partner is very important. The partner is very important. But the candidate is the one who is going to be on the ballot. It's the candidate you're going to sell. It's the candidate who matters, okay? And so if your candidate is not a key asset for your party, then you are in trouble. Because the way he's speaking is like the running mate is now the one who is going to be the main asset. Instead of complimenting, it's instead of complimenting. So those are matters that we are looking at. And two, the comparison is misplaced, forgive me. That Aliu Mahama and... Look, I'm saying you have a candidate who is going for just one term.
Yes.
Okay, one term.
Yeah.
And then, so if I were thinking futuristic, I will get somebody who can take over easily. Yes. There'll be primaries, but that phase would have been marketed for the 4 years. So that's what I was saying. Aliu Mahama, no, 8 years. Kufuor did his 8 years. We went for the primaries. We were not. We had a very marketed candidate.
This is all time will last. Thank you so much, Jesse, for coming. I'm so grateful for your time. Thank you so much, Doc, for coming. I'm so grateful for your time. But let me remind viewers that Professor Naana Ajinokuku-Agyeman is the patron. She's the patron for the Obasima Summit, and so I would want to clarify something here. I would want to clarify this, but you made mention that you did not see her champion the cause, of women and all of that. But what I'm trying to say on this platform, and I'm confirming that she's the patron for the Obasima Summit.
A lot of viewers are hearing this for the
those who know, they know. Obasima is not impactful. Well, these are time we'll allow us a program. Make a time with that same time. What is not impactful?
If today is the first time somebody is hearing.
Okay, well, these are time we'll allow us a program. Make a time with that same time next week. My name is Justice Apia, and the show has been witnessed. Goodbye.
PENDREAM TV really appreciate your time. If today being your first time here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like and also share to other members to watch as well. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.